everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jessica Khan. I'm an aspiring author currently working on my debut novel, Boston's Vigilantes. I created my channel to document my self-publishing journey, to share my tips and tricks for writing, and to join the online writing community. So first of all, before I get into this video, I just want to wish everyone a happy NaNoWriMo, whether you're participating in Nana or not. I really hope that everyone is able to write their 50,000 words by the end of the month, that they are able to complete their goals for this month, and all the best. So this week's topic is about writing believable friendships. Sometime during the end of last year, I was beta reading for someone, and I couldn't help but notice the lack of the development between the protagonist and his best friend. And I started thinking about that a couple of days ago when I thought that that would be a really good topic for a video, to how to write believable friendships, because I feel like platonic friendships are really neglected in YA and new adult. I feel like people normally focus on the romantic relationships between the protagonist, if the protagonist has one. But overall in YA, especially YA, I have noticed that friendships are neglected, that they aren't really a focus of the story. And I feel like by developing the friendships that your protagonist has, your protagonist evolves as well, because in life you have friends come and go, but they are still there, and your friends influence you as a person. They make you who you are. And seeing that friendships aren't really developed in stories is kind of really sad. And I started thinking that maybe some people don't know how to properly develop it, because it's not that easy to create a strong friendship, a believable friendship, and more importantly a healthy friendship. Like, you can get away at times with not writing a healthy relationship. I'm not talking abusive here, but neglecting the relationship sometimes, because you can trick people by making your characters say I love you, or go on these cute moments, or kiss a lot. I've seen this done a lot of times with kissing. But with friendships, you can't wiggle your way around through anything. So that's this week's topic. Number one for writing believable friendships is that your friend, your protagonist's friend, needs to have a life outside of being the protagonist's friend. Because think about your friends. Of course, they have a life, their own life outside of your friendship. They have their own drama going on, maybe relationship drama or family drama, or they don't feel that well, or they have anxiety or whatever. They have a life. So their sole purpose is not just being your protagonist's friend. I know that in my story, my protagonist's journey is really focused on her friendship with her best friend, because she's the only person who truly knows her. Well, in the beginning of the novel, when her family doesn't know how she is, doesn't know the person that she has become, and her story is revolved around having someone in her life about her friend. So at the same time, if you have a story with a friendship that is kind of one of the main plots, and one of the main ways to evolve, to create your character as a proper human being, you need to focus on giving your friend's character, a whole new life outside. Maybe you can have them mentioning from time to time their struggles at home or at work or any. Number two is that your protagonist needs to be there for their friend, because friendship isn't a one-way street. If the friend is always there for your protagonist when he or she is having a hard time, then it's bound to have something going on in their life. and they need a shoulder to cry on. They need someone to be there for them. And because they are always there for the protagonist, your protagonist needs to be there for them. And shouldn't, maybe if you don't want to focus that much on it, don't mention it, or at least talk about things, make your characters talk about things in the friend's life. Number three is give them things in common. Friendships always start by having something in common. Maybe this could be something as small as the favorite book or favorite movie, music genre. Because they need to be talking about something. If they're best friends or even friends, they need to have something to talk about. And most likely, it's going to be the thing that they do have in common. And if they don't have anything in common, are they really friends? Maybe here you can really think about your friendships, your own friendships. What do you talk about with your friends? And really, this goes hand in hand with number four, is you need to know why they're friends. Maybe here you can have a small history as well, and that was kind of number five, but I'm combining three things into one, so me. But even if the history is something that you really should know, because everyone has a point in their life when they became friends with your friends. And you should really know why, because that is kind of the starting point of the whole friendship. Maybe you could have them become friends on a field trip with their class, and they get left behind in a, let's say, museum, and they're all alone, no one else in the class. They kind of bond over that time. I know that my protagonist and her best friend become friends because of circumstance, because of the position that they're put in. It's not a really likely friendship from the beginning, and as time goes on, they become friends, they get to know one another. And my book is, because my book is split into present and past, you can really see how they started becoming friends and the slow process, and how they started trusting one another, because that is one huge important thing in a friendship: trust. You need to give each other reasons to trust one another, to confide in them, to rely on them. And then you get to see their friendship in the present, where they see each other like sisters, they know one another better than they really know themselves, that they're always there for them, that they would do anything for one another. And maybe this is kind of an extreme friendship where they are willing to do anything for one another, and it may not be suitable for your story, because for my story, the willingness to do anything and everything for one another is what drives the plot, will have the plot throughout the series. And because they're such extreme persons, because of who they are as people, they are really likely to do anything for one another, and they really do. So in your story, maybe, let's say, they're not willing to kill someone for the other, but you really need to do something to show why they're friends, because reasons and history is something really important. That the reason and the history is kind of the foundation of the friendship between between, because if you don't have a solid foundation of why they want to become friends, that friendship really isn't believable, because you really need to give them things in common. I feel like I'm jumping from one thing to another. And because of having things in common, it's really believable, because if, let's say, the main character was this super popular girl in school who everyone likes, or every boy wants to date, and the best friend is like a geeky girl, the complete opposite of your best friend, it's not something believable. So by giving them things in common, like personality traits, the friendship is likely to be there forever. And I feel like this is really something just applicable if they are going to be friends throughout the whole book or series, because if they're friends, if you want to show a toxic friendship, These aren't really things that you can apply. And I'm planning on making a video about toxic friendships and relationships in general and on how to rate them. But this is kind of just for platonic friendships who are there for one another. Believable real life friendships that kind of need to be part of every book. I feel kind of disappointed when I pick up a book, read it, and don't see strong and developed friendships, because when I pick a book, whether it be sci-fi, fantasy, thriller, horror, or anything, I expect it to have an ounce of reality, and that small ounce is normally friendship. That's all I had for this video. If you have any other tips on writing realistic friendships, let me know in the comments down below, because I would love to know new ways to create believable friendships. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe because I post new videos every Fridays. If you want to read the first chapter of my novel, the link is down below. I hope you guys have a nice Friday, a great Nano month, and a fantastic weekend. Bye!